Glad to be here in Gulu City. My name is Barabanawe, and I'm the Secretary General of an association which handles all urban matters in this country. It is called Urban Authorities Association of Uganda. It's an association which was formed way back in 1959, and we have got very many members. All the cities are our members. Those are 11 cities, all of them are our members. We also have these city divisions because every state has got the divisions. Now if you put the one of Kampala and the ones of the secondary cities, those are 25 state divisions, those are also our members. Then we have the municipalities, those are also, which are 31, those are also our members. Now we have the municipal divisions. These are lower councils in the municipalities. Those are also our members, they are 89. And then we have these town councils, the Koro and all that and all that. These are 589. So all those people who combine together, they constitute our members, and I work with them as their Secretary General. So today we are having a meeting here in Gulu, basically focusing on the cities alone. We have very many members, but this was basically for cities, and we are doing it in partnership with Gulu City because we saw the cities we need to come together alone first of all and identify a number of issues affecting the cities so that we can be able to take them to government to be able to be addressed. You remember that now the cities are now new. They are now almost 5 years old since they were formed in 1959, and now we have got a new branch of mayors. You can just imagine out of the 10 cities, the new mayors who have come, the old mayors who have come back are only 3. The 7 are new. So you can see these are new mayors who have come on board, and we want to now to give them where to start from by learning from one another how they can be able to run this much better. They can learn from town clerks, they can learn from other presenters. We have been able to bring a number of presenters from AMI, from LCDF, from NPA, whatever, to be able to induct them also on how the new city mayors can be able to scale over the transformation of the city in this country. It was basically meant to share experience, to discuss with one another. Also to learn from other cities. Cities that have been there now for 5 years. Some of them must have learned, they must have achieved certain things. They have learned some lessons, they have met challenges. So we need to know what are those things that cities have been able to do so that we can maintain. What are those bad things that they have done so that we can now avoid. What are those lessons that they have been able to learn which are good that we can also maybe bring on board. So it's about sharing experience and leveling the ground to make sure that we begin from a very fresh ground. I'm happy people have really appreciated. We are lucky we got our chief guest, who is now the Right Honorable Secretary General of NRM. He gave a very good keynote address. We are informing the cities on how we think we should project for the next 5 years and also. So it has been a very good meeting, and out of the day, we are now going back to agree on key undertakings. We are going to have a number of points, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, no matter how many they are, we agree on them, and then we say, arising out of today, the meeting of 2nd July in Gulu has resolved the following: number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4. And then the responsible stakeholders will be notified. That is, central government will be informed in terms of what to expect them to do. The local government themselves, the cities themselves have got a role to play on themselves. The communities also have got a role to play on themselves. So from now on, we will get like a roadmap on how these cities should move in the next period. And that's what we are here focusing on. So I was basically saying that you see in this country, the rate of variation in Uganda is very, very high. It's about 5.4%, meaning the population growth in towns is very, very high. And this is the highest in the whole of Sub-Saharan Africa. So you can just imagine a country like Uganda having such a high population growth rate in a town, which these people are now coming to town. What are they looking for? They are looking for jobs, they are looking for services. In terms of health, they are looking for better health, they are looking for better education, they are looking for quality of life. Mankind, wherever you are, even for you where you are, every person wants to have a better life. So they are now coming from the villages to the towns looking for those facilities. And maybe so you were saying, if we would make them more productive, maybe they would be able to be kept there. But because they are not productive there, they are now end up in town, and when they come in town, we can't absorb them, and then they end up now jobless. That's why we have got levels of unemployment, levels of crime are very, very high. So maybe what we can do as the cities now is to make sure that we try to absorb these people. And one of them is through employment. Employment is a very, very big challenge in this country. And we don't have to look at employment in terms of the formal employment through public service alone. No, that way cannot work. But employment can be through industrialization. I can say like in Ginger, for instance, if you go to Biduku, you can imagine one factory in Ginger, how many people it employs. So one of the ways to create employment is to attract industrialization. And once you do that, you'll be able to absorb a number of people who are now skilled. I think after ginger, now Lira is coming up in terms of number of factories. So industrialization is the best way. But also in Uganda as a country, we are urbanizing without industrializing. People are many, but industries are very few. So the way to go, I think I want to agree with you, is put up many factories so that you can be able to attract these people. But what also requires, you must have land. You must have land because factories are not built in space, they must be built on land. So the cities must make sure the land they have must be preserved very well, and those who don't have must acquire more land. You see, when we were in the plenary, I think you heard about Lira, that the people of in some places, was it Mbari Roya? That some people are selling land, but others are, it was Mbari rather, yes. But yeah, others are buying land. So why do you sell? So we are saying cities should now invest in land banking, where they should be able to make sure they get more land, so that when investor comes, we shall be able to put them there. But also true, secondly, we have to put infrastructure. If you put factories, you must now have water and you must have electricity. I'm happy now, when I was coming, I saw a pipe coming from River Nile. So I think now water is no longer a problem. But also you used to have a problem of power, because you never used to have a third phase from Lira. You see, that has got many factories because they had a third phase only from Jinja. So once you have power, you have water, and you have land and attract factories, you'll be able to do a lot of work. So one of them is industrialization. Then two is also about skilling. That's what he was advising people. To have centers where you can now train the people to be able to employ on their own. You look at the housing industry. We are now trying to influence the government to put more in the housing sector. There's a program in the Ministry of Lands called Sustainable Urban Development and Housing. But that one, if you look at the urban development, it is more pronounced than housing. And in this country, the housing deficit is about 40% of the people don't have houses in the country. And that is a very dangerous thing. So we are saying, if we can also now promote housing sector by making sure we put up centers, we bring our people, we train them in brick making, in construction, it can also another creative industry to make sure they do that. So it's about being creative and innovative to make sure that what do we do like in Gulu? If we have got to use, what are we good at? What advantage do we have other than other areas? It depends on a particular city to look at the opportunities which they have vis-a-vis the investment, and now they can be able to design strategies that can create jobs in a particular city.
Thank you.